making chocolate brownies. I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees. So first things first, I have 225 grams of caster sugar in the same bowl as the self-raising flour, because all the cake batter gets mixed together at once, so it just kind of, well, it's dry ingredients and wet ingredients, but there is 275 grams of self-raising flour. There are 4 tablespoons of hot water that we literally just boiled. 4 large eggs here. I don't want to break them, but yeah. 225 grams of softened butter. 4 tablespoons of milk. 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So let's get started. So I'm just going to get someone to get me a whisk because I completely forgot mine. So if someone backstage can just yeah, that one. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Just mixing in the flour and sugar. Just make sure it's really well combined. If you're using unsalted butter, which is kind of an option, put in a pinch of salt. It's not really a good option, but if you have to, just put in a pinch of salt. But anyway, now that that's mixed, I'm going to add in my hot water, just to kind of thin it up a bit. And now I'm just going to mix that. Now adding in my milk. You can use any kind of milk. I'm using 2%. Just because that's the one that I want to use. And for toppings, I didn't say this, but we're using icing sugar, so powdered sugar in America, whatever you call it, wherever you live. But yeah, we're using that on top. You can also get icing recipes, or just buy Betty Crocker icing or something, you know. So now I'm going to add in my cocoa powder, and this is going to make it oh so yummy. And make sure they're really level. So I'm just I'm not sure how you guys can see that, but it's perfect. So I'm just using 4 of these. So I'm just going to put this to the side, and I'm going to add in my 2 teaspoons. Once again, make sure these are really level, because otherwise you will have baking soda brownies. And you do not want that. Putting this to the side, just going to mix this up. This is basically all our dry ingredients, and then the milk and water. So yeah. This looks like a really light kind of color. So, camera woman, yes, that's just the consistency. I'm not done mixing it, but that's just kind of the color of it. So. Oh, by the way, guys, the camera woman is Ola.
Yeah,
again. As
always, going to be her.
Yeah, unless of course someday she's really sick or dead or something like that, you know. Okay guys, now for the eggs, I'm just going to make a little pit inside my mixture. I'm going to add in 2 of the eggs, so I'm just going to leave that there so it doesn't get everywhere. Just adding in half the eggs, which is 2. You can do 1 at a time or 2 at a time, whatever. Don't do 4 at a time now, because that's a bad thing. Yeah. But anyway, as you can see, I've just kind of made a little pit in there, so I can just fold it in. So, yeah. I'll be back in a second when this is mixed up. Okay guys, so I've just mixed this up. So it's mostly mixed, and once again I'm going to make a pit. This time a very deep pit. Sorry about background noises. Yeah, my parents are building outside because the kind of people they are.
Like to build a lot. Hard workers.
Yeah. So if you hear them, just ignore them. This time I'm only adding them in one egg because I want to mix this first and then kind of add in the second. The last one, sorry, not the second egg. And it's starting to feel kind of, you know, battery. So now I'm not going to make a pit because it's mostly wet and things. So I'm just going to add in the last egg here. Whoop! It wants to get shelling. That did not break very well, guys. I have not mastered the egg cracking yet. Nah, just kidding, I have. I'm just talented, we'll say, okay? Talented is the new word.
Looks really nice so far anyway.
Yeah, it's starting to get to a wet consistency.
It's what we need.
Yep. And I'm just kind of half folding, half mixing in the eggs.
Just put the butter in as well, don't forget.
Yep.
So we'll get back to you when she's absolutely done mixing.
Now I'm going to add the butter. I'm going to mix this up and then we'll be back. So, yeah.